Hello everyone and welcome to day 25 of the 30 Days to Spring Tidying Challenge, a challenge that I created based on Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Today we're going to be heading to the kitchen to tidy anything that involves cooking or eating but does not include food. So these are all our kitchen kimono, our eating implements, our cups and mugs, our cooking tools, as well as our storage containers and table decor. Despite being a household of only 2 people and 2 tiny animals, one of them is right here, hubby and I have a ton of items in this category. Our problem areas are probably eating implements and cups and mugs. We just have a ton of these items. We don't have a whole lot of small appliances. Everything that we have, we do use. The only exception I can think of off the top of my head is our slow cooker, which we really don't use anymore except for mulled wine, but you can do mulled wine in the Instant Pot and I've done that before. So I think today I am going to finally let go of my very old slow cooker. In terms of flatware, we have enough settings for 8 people, and while we probably don't need that many, I don't think I'm going to break up the set just because we do tend to use a lot of forks and spoons and such. I don't think we're going to be able to make a big dent in eating implements, but where we can probably make a big dent is in cups and mugs. We have so many of these. What I'm going to try to do is lay all of our cups and mugs out on the kitchen counter, and I'm going to pick out my favorites, and then when hubby comes home he can save any that he feels inclined to save, and hopefully there will be a lot left over that we can go ahead and then donate. I thought today went really well, and pulling everything out in one given category and sorting through it, picking out the things that you want to keep that spark joy, or in the case of kitchen kimono, things that you use all the time, even if they don't necessarily spark joy yet, was very effective for me. I'm finding that the more I use regular day-to-day items, the more they spark joy. Not really in the sense that they make my heart go pitter-patter, but as I mentioned in previous videos, I really develop a strong affinity towards these items because of their usefulness. As I pulled out all of the items in each subcategory, I would go through and pick out the things that I either used the most or that sparked the most joy. It was kind of a combination of these two things today, and I really relied on my gut and intuition to determine whether or not I should keep it in my collection. I managed to do very well. Having gone through 24 days of tidying leading up to today, I think has really honed my ability to pick out things I want to keep. This was very hard for me in the beginning and I wasn't quite consistent with it, but I find that every time I use this method, in other words, selecting things to keep rather than picking things to discard, it works out much better. Every time I use this method, there is a clear divide between things that spark joy and things that do not spark joy, and there comes a moment when I can't pick anything out of the pile anymore, and you kind of see the remaining items in a different light. They no longer evoke that same sense of fear and clinginess, but rather they just don't have that same sparkle as all of the other things that you had previously picked out that do spark joy. And with that, I find I am much better at letting go, versus when you pick something to discard, your mind makes up all sorts of excuses as to why you should be keeping the item. I guess I would say that selecting things to keep, you're really relying on your gut instinct, your intuition about what sparks joy. So I find that if you're picking items to discard, you're operating more on a fear-based mentality, whereas selecting items to keep, you are really honing in on what makes you happy. With every different type of item that I tidied in this manner, there was a clear divide between what sparked joy and what didn't, and as a result, all of the remaining items I was able to let go of. Marie Kondo talks a lot about taking things off the shelf and displacing them so you see them in a different light, and that really worked for me today. I was able to think of alternate storage solutions. Instead of leaving all the utensils on the counter, I decided to put them in a drawer. There were other little things here and there that I was able to move around. While everything hasn't been put away in its final spot yet, because we're still going to be continuing with tidying in the kitchen tomorrow, I'm hoping to clear clear out some more space and then really think through where I want things placed in the kitchen. What makes the most sense when storing like items together? Where should I put what? And really try to break out of the mold that I've set for myself when I initially set up the kitchen. The setup has been serving me very well for 12 or 13 years. But it's time to tweak the organization a little bit because I'm sure I can make some improvements. That is going to be it for day 25. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below how you're doing with tidying. Let me know if you like mismatched sets or if you like everything in your kitchen to be in matched sets. That's something I'm really curious about. I personally prefer mismatched plates and such because my taste is so eclectic when it comes to dishware, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. I know a lot of us really like to have matched sets and don't like one-off items here and there, but I love the one-off items. I'll be back tomorrow with another tidying video. Tomorrow we're going to continue in the kitchen, but we're going to tackle food. These are pantry items, refrigerated food, frozen food, and drinks. I will see you tomorrow on day 26. Until then, please take care and bye for now.